All right, I can't say this is a frequently asked question, but we do get this several times a year. I will have somebody that moves into this territory, they're exploring the option, they want cleaner water, but they've had an experience at someone's house, whether it was a house they were growing up in, especially get out more west and definitely Florida areas, Texas areas. There's a lot of areas that have extreme hardness in the water. Really, none of us want any hardness in the water, but when you get to certain levels of hardness, you really could experience what this term is, sliminess in the water, by running it through a water softener. And to explain the chemistry of it very briefly, quickly here on, I'm trying to make these videos really long. When you soften water, you run it through a water softener, all you're doing is trading sodium ions for calcium and magnesium ions. The sodium ions, sodium is so much easier to work with for your hair, your skin, dishes, clothes. We could go on and on and on the appliances. But when you get down to a big benefit of soft water, and I'm still gonna touch on the other locations here, but one of the big benefits of soft water is that you use less detergents, because a lot of our products are over 90% water softeners, hard chemicals, things to treat the water to get that water back soft, because water is the best cleaner in the world. It's the #1 universal solvent. It'll pull, it'll cut, and it'll clean for you. Or with hard water, hence all the deposits that you see on your dishes, soaps come in the tub, those impurities stick to the tub, the water evaporates. Usually the only thing left on these surfaces are hard chemicals and the actual sediment, the actual calcium, magnesium that was stuck there too. So to tie all that back in here, when you have harder water, you're exchanging more sodium ions, because you're basically, if you had 100 total dissolved solids on a TDS meter of calcium, magnesium coming through the tap, and we run it through a water softener, we are going to trade exactly 100 sodium ions, exact amount for the calcium, magnesium. So when you start adding this up and you start looking at some of these places that have extremely hard water, you're doing such a big sodium exchange that it can give you that, I don't want to say that word slimy, I would say more silky type of feel. But one of the biggest things for people that are getting clean water is to use less. A lot of people sign up, they love the savings of clean water, but they don't adapt that into their daily life. They're still putting a glob of shampoo in their hand. They're still taking body wash, just dumping it all. You really, in a lot of cases, can use up to 80, even 90% less of these detergents. And with that clean water, you're sudding up so much that it can feel like you're not getting those off. But the main reason why you feel that slimy feel that you're saying is typically because the water was so hard where it was on that sodium exchange. Now, that being said, would I take the slimy feel over all that hardness? Of course, any day of the week, all the benefits that you get from softer water and hair and all that kind of stuff. But here's one thing to keep in mind, and this isn't something I'd recommend. I would always want my water treated to the maximum there, whether it was high sodium or not. We're not telling you to drink that water either way. You're gonna want to run that through a reverse osmosis unit. You can also check out the frequently asked questions on the reverse osmosis units as well on the drinking systems. What we can do, if this is what you really want to do, I would not recommend it. I never want to introduce that raw municipal water or whatever the water is. If it's well water and all you have is calcium, magnesium, and you want a little bit back, sure, we can do this, what's called a distributor, and it goes on the back of the head of the unit. And what it basically does is, after you filter that water and it comes out and it's clean, we can reintroduce some of that raw tap water back into it to add a little bit of hardness back to it. You can also add what's called pretty much like a neutralizer, but we could also add some hardness back in a couple different ways if you want to add it back in after the system. But if you have a sales guy in your house from some company, God forbid it was ours, I would hate to hear this, but every once in a while there is genuine confusion, and they'll think that you can set the settings on your computer and tell it to, I want this amount of hardness in the water. You can. It's still coming through that resin bed, and it's still going to release the exact amount of sodium ions as calcium, magnesium ions. Hopefully this video helps and give you a little bit more clarity on that. And again, I'd always take softer water over maybe the slimy feel. Thank you.